It's time for your weekly obsession, bringing you the latest drag news, pageant talk, and interviews from the source for drag in Arizona and nationally, ArizonaDrag.com. Welcome to Drag Talk with your host, Edward Michael.
Hello and welcome to Drag Talk Live, brought to you by ArizonaDrag.com. This is Season 2, Episode number 6. My name is Edward Michael, and I will be your host for the next hour as we talk drag. I will be joined by two very special guests in just a little bit. Robin Banks and Fantasia Saxton will be joining me in just a little bit. But right now, like we do each and every week, we're going to get started with a little drag news.
Girl, the shade of it all.
The off. I've had it with you. Go the home. I've had it officially.
I'm back again.
But that was a choice.
Choices.
All right, in our drag news for this week, forget lip syncs. Now queens will have to sing for their lives on Queen of the Universe. The one-of-a-kind series will feature drag queens from all over the world going wig to wig in a singing competition to see who will be crowned the ultimate Queen of the Universe. The series is from World of Wonder, the fierce production company behind the Emmy-winning franchise RuPaul's Drag Race. As if that wasn't enough to get your engines revving, Paramount Plus will also be the home of the upcoming 6th season of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, set to premiere later this year. Queen of the Universe is going to be similar to The Masked Singer, but featuring drag queens. And RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 6 will premiere on the streaming service Paramount Plus, and we'll have more information on that as details are released. That's going to do it for our drag news for this week. Let's move on to our pageant talk.
I'm gonna get that crown. Let's move around. Let's take our bodies to the ground. I'm gonna get that crown. Arms, legs, snatch. I'm gonna get that crown. The crown on girl, get the crown on girl, get the crown on girl. I'm gonna get that crown. Snatch. It's mine. Snatch. It's mine. Snatch. It's mine.
In our pageant talk for this week, the Miss Gay US of A Newcomer Division has announced the 2021 Miss Gay Newcomer pageant will be canceled for this year once again. The pageant was scheduled for August the 2nd through the 5th, 2021. It read, after careful consideration and out of abundance of caution, the decision has been made to cancel the 2021 Miss Gay US of A Newcomer National Pageant. The decision was based on several determinants, vaccine distribution, the CDC warning, restrictions within the state of Texas, and the economic burden caused by the pandemic, read the statement. Now, the reigning Miss Gay US of A newcomer Alexis Oasis has agreed to reign another year, and preliminary promoters are encouraged to continue the preliminaries within their state guidelines. Those contestants that have already qualified will still be eligible to qualify to compete in 2022. Now, the Miss Gay US of A newcomer pageant will now be scheduled for August the 1st through the 4th, 2022, inside the Rose Room at S4 Nightclub in Dallas, Texas. Now, if you've been following the news as of today, the governor of Texas did lift the restrictions in the state of Texas, but still no word on whether they're going to keep it canceled or actually have the pageant. I don't believe that they will, knowing Daryl Newman, the national owner for Miss Gay US of a newcomer pageant. He's going to be very cautious, and they more than likely will wait another year. Now, the Drag Queen of the Year pageant presented by Alaska Thunderfuck is scheduled for this Sunday, March the 7th, 2021, which will be streamed live on Sessions Live at 3 p.m. Check your local listings. They have revealed a newly released video where we get to meet the contestants a little in depth. So let's take a look at that video and let's meet the contestants that will be competing this Sunday in the virtual pageant.
What the fuck is Alaska Thunderfuck, and what the fuck is the Drag Queen of the Year pageant competition award contest competition, girl?
Drag Queen of the Year in the pageant who cares, all right? It's a big show. Alaska, Lola, we're all doing it.
I am so sorry, America.
Hello world, it's Lucy Stool, Chicago's black bearded beauty.
Hello kitty cats, it's me, Jake Dupree, the boylesque babe from Los Angeles, California.
Hey there kids, it's Cassandra Complex, and I'm representing New Jersey this year.
My name is Maureen San Diego, and I am Chicago's premier female impersonator. That's right, I am basically the Mimi from the Drew Carey Show of drag.
It's me, Dixie Sherwood, all the way from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I am thrilled to be part of this year's Drag Queen of the Year.
Hi, my name is Chiquitita, I'm 22 years old, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Hello world, my name is Tito Soto. I was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and now I'm currently living in beautiful San Francisco.
Hey divas, my name is Tenderoni, I'm 32 years old, and bitch, I'm from Chicago. I'm excited to show the world the gayest drag king they've ever seen. Do you see this blush? Lashes?
It is so exciting to have the platform to showcase what I do to an amazing audience. I have been waiting for years to be able to be comfortable enough in my own skin to showcase exactly how I want to express myself.
I think it's about time that a beautiful black bearded beauty got the recognition and money she deserves.
I do drag because I love making people feel less alone. I love making people laugh.
I'm just honored to be in this cast of incredibly talented performers.
I love performing so much, and I believe that I bring joy to those that get to see me perform.
I'm excited to compete in this pageant because I feel like for the past 6 years, Brooklyn and New York has seen me grow as a performer and as a woman, and now I get to showcase all of my talents and my womanhood to this stage.
I'm excited for the pageant this year because it's digital, and I am obsessed with music videos, and I am obsessed with pop culture. Drag is a huge part of pop culture now, and I just want to be able to add drag kings to the mix.
I blur this beautiful line between masculinity and femininity, strength and softness, old Hollywood glamour mixed with androgyny and a little bit of danger, and I really paved this way for myself.
Listen, America, I can win Drag Queen of the Year because I don't lip sync, I don't talk, I don't death drop, I shop exclusively at H&M, and I have not washed a pair of tights in at least a decade.
Normally, when you do a pageant and you don't win, you spend all night at home by yourself, ruminating alone. But this time, even if I win the pageant, I'm going to spend all night at home alone, ruminating by myself. So even if I win, I've lost.
I have what it takes to win this pageant because I'm a little bit old school, I'm a little bit new school, I'm a little bit gay. I mean, let's face it, I'm a lot of bit gay. And my drag is most of all entertaining.
I've been doing this since the beginning of my drag career, and I honestly feel like I've been training for this moment my entire life.
So make sure you tune in on March 7th to see me snatch that crown.
I'll see you on March 7th. Mwah.
I'll see you online.
Cassandra Complex, I don't know. Do you vote or something? If you do, then vote. If you don't, just buy a ticket. $10,000 fucking dollars! $10,000!
Bitch better have my money.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how that turns out. That is this Sunday, March the 7th, 2021 at 3 p.m. on Sessions Live. Tickets are on sale now. Of course, we will bring you the results as soon as it happens. Now, on the local front, the Miss Gay Queen of the Desert America pageant has a new date. May 15, 2021 is the new date for this final preliminary to Miss Gay Arizona America. Now, it was previously announced that Miss Gay Arizona America would return in April or the spring of 2021, but no new date or new information has been announced as of this time. Now, ArizonaDrag.com traveled to San Antonio, Texas this past Friday night for the Texas All-American Goddess at Large, and Texas All-American Gent pageant. There were 4 fabulous contestants competing in 3 divisions, and we want to send our congratulations to Antonio Diaz, the winner of Texas All-American Gent, Gerald Alexander, the first alternate, Naima Jackson, Texas All-American Goddess at Large, and Linz Andrews, Texas All-American Goddess. It was a fabulous pageant promoted by promoter Samuel Godvez, and great entertainment from the AAG court and special guests. And speaking about pageants, on Sunday, February the 28th, the Oklahoma Bold and Beautiful Elite pageant took place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This was a unisex pageant which features 6 contestants competing, and we would like to congratulate Brandon Casey Young, who was crowned your new Oklahoma Bold and Beautiful Elite, and Black Widow, who placed first alternate. That's going to wrap it up for our pageant talk for this week. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back with the hilarious new show director from Cruising 7 for Saturday nights. Robin Banks will join us right after this commercial break.
Boss.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome to Drag Talk Live, Robin Banks.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Edward Michael. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me. I see you're right there in your new home at Cruising 7.
That's right.
Wonderful. Well, let's start from the beginning, something I like to call Who Are You? So tell us, how long have you been doing drag?
I've been doing drag probably about 15 years now.
Nice. And what do you enjoy the most about doing drag?
Besides taking it all off at the end of the night, that's my favorite part. But I guess just entertaining people and having a good time and getting to look pretty, but mostly just making people laugh. That's my favorite thing.
Now tell me, how did you come up with your name, Robin Banks?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I started out as Barbecue, the barbecued Barbie. And it looked as if I had fallen into a barbecue, and I had barbecued pineapple and a chicken breast in my hair. And I had barbecue marks on my face. But I had to be barbecued all the time. It was a lot of work. So I changed my name to Robin Banks, and somebody gave me a hoodie, like a Dickie hoodie. It wasn't a whole hood. It was just the hood, not the whole jacket. And when I put it on, it looked kind of like Kenny from South Park. And my friend said, "You look like you're going to rob banks."
Oh,
and I decided it was time to change my name to Robin Banks. And I love money. Yes.
I love that. All right, so let's talk about something that I read in your bio, your Judy Garland impersonation. How long have you been impersonating Judy Garland, and what made you want to impersonate that character?
The first wig I ever got was from my friend Dandy Lyons, and she had given me one of her old brown wigs, an old brown short-haired wig, and I put it on, and I thought, well, I look kind of like Judy Garland, and who doesn't like Judy Garland? So I practiced my Over the Rainbow song, and that was that. And then all of a sudden, I was doing Judy Garland. That simple.
Nice. Now you have been producing and performing and hosting gigs all over the United States for over 15 years. Tell me, how have you seen drag change within those 15 years from when you started to where it is now?
Well, I started doing drag in Connecticut, in New Haven, and drag had been going on for a while, but it was kind of quiet. The scene was kind of quiet in the town that I was in. I had a couple friends that were doing some shows, but it just wasn't that many things going on. So the same friend who gave me that wig, Dandy Lyons, and I started a show together, Boys Will Be Girls. That was my first drag show. And we did that for a while until she had to move away. And then I transformed Boys Will Be Girls into the Robin Banks show. And I've just been doing that ever since.
Nice. When did you move to Phoenix?
I'm from Phoenix originally.
Okay.
So I've gone back and forth for years. And then with, the current state of affairs, I just kind of landed here. Just, in my travels, I had to kind of take up roots, if you will. So I just happened to be, it was the winter time, and New England is not my favorite place in the winter time. So that's why I stopped in Arizona.
That makes sense. Now you are the new show director for Saturday nights at Cruisin' Seventh Show Bar. Tell me how all that came about.
Well, I guess it's just kind of a good timing, really. I've been working with the owner and the management at Cruisin' Seventh for a few years, just making relationships, and an opening came up for an opening for Saturday's show. And I just happened to be available. I was in Arizona, just coincidentally, Saturday nights opened up. And so I had that opportunity, and I discussed it with the owners and the management, and it looked like a good fit. So there you have it.
Nice. So your new show, The Robin Banks Show, is going to begin this Saturday at Cruisin' Seventh. Now, your first show is already a sold-out show.
Hooray.
Because now you have to purchase tickets, and we're at limited capacity.
Right.
So tell me, what can people expect from attending a Robin Banks show?
Sure. People can expect a Robin Banks show. You can expect lip syncing, dancing. You can expect live singing. You can expect movement. You can expect sitting. You can expect me standing completely still at sometimes. And then mostly just a good time, a safe, fun, enjoyable experience that you could share with your family.
Wonderful. And what type of entertainers would we be seeing? Is it going to be a diverse cast, or do you have like themes, or what kind of entertainment?
I'm glad you asked. I've never really done too many themes. It's never been my thing to do themes. But for entertainment, definitely diverse. Some of the best talent in Arizona, many of the performers from just living here, but a most diverse crowd, absolutely. And people can expect just to have a good time and to be in a comfortable space where, I don't know, maybe you could just forget about your worries that you have, and maybe for a couple hours you can just, transform, be part of this illusion that we're putting on, and that you can be part of this fantasy, and just maybe forget about your cares for just a couple hours.
And that's what drag's all about. Well, I love your cast for your first show. You got Harlot LaFleur, Diora LeBlanc, and Nikki Starr. So you definitely are going to have a diverse cast. But
I have Diora. Unfortunately, she's not going to be able to be in the show. I just wanted to shout out because I have Ezia Inez is going to be in the show. She responded right away. She was available. She's going to be in the show. So we have a terrific cast with Ezia Inez, and we have Nikki Starr and Harlot LaFleur. That's correct.
Wonderful. And you also have your next show is going to be on Saturday, March the 13th. Of course, every Saturday at 9:30 p.m.
Right.
You're going to have Ruby Reynolds, Paris McKenzie, and then my next guest, your partner in crime at Cruising 7th, Fantasia Saxton.
Correct.
Tickets are still available for this one?
Yeah, they're still available. We still have tables available. They can go online at cruising7th.ticketleap.com and you can purchase tickets. That's the only way you can get tickets is online. So
wonderful. Now tell me, how do you feel about starting a new show during the pandemic? Have you ever been involved in a show with restrictions the way that we have them now?
I have been in a couple shows during the pandemic. The shows I've done during the pandemic were outdoor shows, which gave me some experience just on taking precautions and doing things a little bit differently. And a few of the things that I learned was, I do a very interactive show, generally speaking, in good times, where, I don't know, maybe I might hand people things or, expect them to give me things and just have a lot of interactive play. And maybe I would have people speak into the microphone to do a little game or, a few things. Those things are different now. We don't have that ability to interact in that way. So to answer your question, we're just doing things completely different as far as performers staying on the stage during the show, wearing face coverings. People have to stay seated at their table. We have socially distanced seating, limited capacity, obviously. So I feel good that we're offering, the safest, comfortablest show we can provide. So
wonderful. So where can people find you on social media so that they can stay tuned to everything that you got going on?
Hey, thanks for asking and thanks for the shout out. I'm so happy to say people can find me. It's so easy. I'm a Ms. I'm not a Mrs. I'm not a Miss. I'm a Ms. That's MS. And it's just MS Robin Banks. And you can find me on everything from Snapchat to fans, OnlyFans to everything. I'm MS Robin Banks. So you can find me, all the social media at Ms. Robin Banks.
Wonderful. Well, Robin, I cannot wait to attend one of your shows. I won't be able to make it to the first one because, of course, I didn't get tickets fast enough.
Okay.
But I will definitely be there one of these Saturday nights to meet you in person and to, of course, to watch your art. But I want to thank you for being a part of tonight's show.
Hey, Edward, Mike, I wanted to thank you for letting me be part of this show. Being new to town and having this opportunity, I'm really happy to, be able to share a little bit of what's going on at Cruising 7th. So thank you, Edward Michael.
And we will speak to you again soon. Thank you so much. You have a good night.
All right. See you soon. Bye-bye.
When we come back, we are going to talk to one of my good girlfriends. We have been friends for a long time. And she is never shy with her words, and she always has something to say. We're going to be talking to the new show director on Friday nights at Cruising 7th, The Mouth of Melrose. Miss Fantasia Saxton will be with us right after this short commercial break. And we are back. Please welcome at this time my next special guest, no stranger to the stage. You've seen her on stages in Las Vegas, all the way to the desert, and quite a few other places. Please welcome the mouth of Melrose, Miss Fantasia Saxton. Oh, mama.
Hi, Edward.
Hi, how are you?
You know what? Yeah, I'm a little full.
Oh, I heard you had a
I'm
you had a
truly full.
you had
I'm
a
truly
photo
full.
you had a photo shoot today,
Yes, but truly.
and then you're just having some cocktails to relax.
Well, here at the house, here at the.
I see. It looks like you're like in a recording
Mama,
studio.
Mama.
I see the merchandise. I'm a little bit jealous. I don't have my gig T-shirt yet, but
Maybe
I'm going to get one.
I just got mine today. I just
Well,
got it today, and I was like, I'm wearing this for Drag Talk Live. I'm
Well,
wearing this, and
perfect
if we can give
timing.
a quick shout out to Kat from Cobalt has made the merch, so we can support local.
Yes, of course. I love me some
And that's why
cat.
I'm still in mug, because I had a photo shoot.
Oh, you just don't dress like that for fun?
Mama, not for the children like that.
Unless you're receiving an envelope at the end of the night.
Well, Mama.
Oh my God, I love you. I can't wait to talk to you. So, in
Well,
case
here I am. Let's talk.
in case anybody doesn't know who you are, we're going to start with who are you? So tell me, how long have you been doing
Melrose, Mama.
How long have you been doing drag?
Can I just point out that I'm actively watching Amber Rain's live jewelry auction right now? Just like waiting to see some really cool shit. Like, not only am I on something live, I'm actually watching a live because, like, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be some jewelry, bitch.
Am I boring you?
No, not at all.
You mean that's when you were backstage while we were doing the other part?
Well, I was backstage. And what kids don't know about like this app that you use, it literally says, "Baby, you're backstage."
You know, we're
like, am I on? Is it wait? Is it recording? Am I on? Is it recording? I said it. He goes, "Baby, it says you're backstage."
Okay, so let's begin.
Some of my best work backstage.
Tell me, how long have you been doing drag?
Too long. I have been doing the art form of female and Peter tasting for 20 years now. I've been doing drag for 20 years, at least. I think it's got to be at this point 20 years for sure.
Now, what do you enjoy the most about doing drag?
This is the marijuana, by the way. It's a jewel.
We're gonna get kicked off of the internet tonight.
Not the gig is in more. Okay, so the way your app works, though, like I'm actively going to my right, but on your screen it looks like I'm going to the left. But whatever. The thing that I love most about doing drag is that it's drag. You know, drag is so cool. I think drag is probably one of the most amazing forms of art in gay cabaret moments. And you know, you completely change from like a dude to a chick. It's just so cool. It's just so very cool. And I think you get to in those moments get your point across by producing a costume and a piece of music. And my favorite thing about doing drag is that it's drag. Because drag in itself is important. And you know, I can wear something fantastic and give you an amazing song and really like mean it. And I think that's pretty dope. And don't clock that I'm not wearing nails, but I had nails on during the photo shoot.
So tell me.
Do you remember the last time we interviewed together and my phone was all fucked up? You're frozen, sis.
Oh, Am I frozen? Are we back?
No, you're not anymore. But remember the last time we did this, and it was you, me, and Image, and he was like, "Fantasia needs some good internet." Look at the material.
We're good. Okay, so how did you come up with your name, Fantasia Saxton?
Oh, from Disney. Like, because for years it was just Fantasia. Should I look at the camera or look at you? I keep looking at you, but because I had a drag name prior to being Fantasia, and that was Janelle Jackson. And I was Janelle Jackson for the better part of probably 2 years, maybe 3.
Wait a minute. You said Janelle Jackson?
Yes, I was Janelle Jackson. When I first lived in Las Vegas and I was first experiencing doing drag, my drag name was Janelle Jackson because I was obsessed with Janet Jackson. So I took the T apart and made 2 L's and made it Janelle Jackson. And then I just became kind of a victim of like what was happening in my relationship. And I stopped doing drag for the hottest minute. And then when I was like, Barbara specifically was like, you need to come back and you need to do drag again. And I was like, but I feel some kind of way about it. And she's like, well, change everything. You know, you're in control, change everything. And so I did. And that included a name change. And so Fantasia was an easy moment because it's one of my favorite Disney movies ever. And so it was just Fantasia for years and years and years until I discovered the SAXTON, and that's a whole nother story, which is also on the backside of this hat. I mean, are we talking about merch?
So I can't believe
Edward Michael, I'm over here looking like the virtual drag con. I'm like William's booth at drag con right now.
I can't believe I never knew that.
You did. You just probably forgot.
Oh, okay. All right. So
everybody knows that. And I color corrected today too. So,
well, your daughter Katrina thinks that it was an awful name.
Well, we spent the better part of this weekend telling her that she was 86th from a local establishment and believed all of us until we told her that she wasn't actually 86th. So she's viable for a good rant.
All right, so let's move on.
That's all that merch says. Miss Foxglove.
Let's move on.
Who's doing a gig in a couple weeks?
Oh, we're going to talk about that. How has drag during the pandemic been for you? I've seen that you've been booked around town. How have you done it up to this point?
Well, for the better part of last year, like during the summer, I was in KOC's garage. Well, not her garage, but Eddie's garage. But I was in the garage. And that, where'd you go, Edward? Where'd you go? That really made me think about what am I doing? What am I presenting? What am I putting out there? Is this relatable? Is this watchable? Things like that. It was just a very interesting moment, and you know, I'm glad I got to do it with a friend who KFC is just such an amazing friend, and I'm glad I got to do it with her. But I mean, the reality of all of it is that we couldn't go anywhere and do any of what we do the way that we do it, but we were able to do it here in this garage. And we were literally in July in a garage giving that much of a fuck about drag that this is what we did. And like the first week I did it, I made like $80 in like Venmo tips. And I didn't even know what Venmo was at the time. I didn't know, but like, I just wanted to turn the party and slay. And in that moment, I was able to do so. So in the way that drag has been transformed into what it is now, I think that all of us are kind of pretty well adapted to what it is. Like there's not a lot of hand-to-hand tipping, which sucks. I love a hand-to-hand tipping moment. I love I'm looking right at you, you're handing me $1 or a 5 or a 10 or whatever, and you're handing me this and I'm touching you and I'm giving you that moment and that connection, and we can't do that. But we found a way to kind of do that. That the person that's giving you that money still feels some kind of way. Like they still kind of feel like the attention was given to them in that moment. And
now, were you missing drag at that point? Were you missing it that you felt you had to do something? Because yeah, we were in lockdown for a few months and we didn't have drag for maybe 6 to 8 months. Did you feel that you had to do something? No.
No, not at all. Because I wasn't that booked. You know, I wasn't that just everywhere that I was like, holy shit, I'm not, you know, weekly somewhere, this and that. I didn't feel that way. You know, other people might have felt that way, but I definitely didn't feel that way. What I felt was after a while, when it was just like fully taken away from me, I was like, I've got to be a part of something now. Like, you know, going to a drag show every week or several times a week, you know, whatever you do, is one thing. But like when you're literally told by your government you can't do that, it's going to change your mind about what you think eventually at some point. And really, I didn't feel any kind of loss because I wasn't doing drag that much. So I didn't feel like a lost moment, but I definitely, when I was told, that's what kind of changed it for me, because I was like, you're not going to tell me what I can't do. What I'm going to do is get in this bitch's garage and turn it out. So, and I'm in the show. Girl, look, I've had this mug on since 2 p.m., by the way. Edward, where'd you go? Oh, there she is. Oh, no, it's your technical difficulties. Remember last time we did this? It was my technical difficulties.
No, I was just letting you express yourself. I felt that you had to
That's
get
what
it
I
off your,
feel. I definitely felt that, you know, I don't need to walk into a room and have people say, oh my God, yes. I don't need that. What I need is there to be space where people can do that.
All right, let's move on and let's talk about your new show. It's been a year in the making. It's called The Gig. Tell me how this came about, because I remember back in 2020 it was going to premiere and you just reminded us.
On March 19th.
Yes, and it's going to debut
on March
19th. So tell me, how did this all come about?
Last night. I clocked it last night and I was like, are you kidding me? I clocked that shit last night. So how did it come about?
Yes.
Well, essentially, what happened was Mike McGarry, who's the owner of C7, he reached out to me several times, and I was not in the mood or in the mindset or anything to have my own show. I didn't want that responsibility. I didn't want any of that. However, he would not leave it alone. So I was like, maybe I'm doing something right, that he really wants this to happen. And so the gig itself came about last year, and he said, you know, I've heard a lot about you. I've heard that, like, when you do, because I was filling in for Espressa, I was filling in for LC, like a lot. Like if either one of them had to not be there, it was me that was hosting for them. And so he was like, I trust you. I know you understand what's going on in XYZ. And so then he reaches out to me and says, okay, well, I'm trying to do this in a whole new Zhuzh on Thursdays. And it's just a show a night or a show a week. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. Like, you know, I wasn't really in love with the idea, but what I was in love with was the idea of like being somewhere in that kind of capacity. And so we talked and we talked and we talked and we talked and we talked. And me coming from like being a queen who's been a Vegas girl and who's actively worked with Rue girls and like knows what is required and what is desired and all of that. I said, okay, I'll do this, but here's what I need, and here's this, and here's this, and here's that, and this is what's going to make it successful, and this is what's going to make me successful, and da-da. And so I said yes, and you know, we were getting ready, we were getting up, and then Miss Rona entered the chat, and you know, the bar closed and whatever. However, I think that what's happening on March 19th for me is going to be the most amazing moment. I can't say for anybody other than me, but it's the most amazing moment for me. I have been actively a B-list queen for years. For years. Like my mug is right, and my hair is right, my jewelry's right, my costume is right. Like everything is fine. Everything is to the same scale as everybody else in this town. But I have never been primetime. I use the word primetime. I've never been a primetime girl. And now I'm a primetime girl. I have a Friday night in a club that turns the party, and I am not taking any of this for granted. And I'm so excited to show this entire community what I can really fucking do and like what I really am. And like, yeah, I'm at the Melrose and I'm this and I'm just all nasty drunk on the damn patio. You know, I love a patio. But at the end of all of that, though, I'm a sick ass bitch. And I'm about to display that, period. And so when Mike came to me and said, you know, we are looking at revisiting Friday nights, like Miss Thing is left and this Miss Thing is left, we're revisiting Friday nights. I said, okay. And then I walked in there and he interviewed me. And I was like, at first, upset because he interviewed me. But then secondly, I was like, you know what? You want your bar to be the most amazing and accepting place that it can possibly be. And I will be a part of that. And, you know, I'm using him as much as he's using me. And we're not even talking about using, but I've always just been the B side of Phoenix Drag. And now I get to be like in A side. And I'm just so excited about it. And even though it's just drag, but drag can be really crazy good and really crazy fun and really crazy amazing. And that's what I'm going to do. And now I feel like I don't have to follow anybody's rules anywhere. You know, I'm not booked over here where I have to be like, okay, I have to do this. I'm in my showroom doing what I do, doing what I've created, like, and we are turning the party.
So tell me,
truly,
what is the gig going to be all about? What can we expect at the gig coming up on March the 19th?
Not the image and the merch.
The merch.
Mama, merch.
So tell me what.
Can I just talk about this T-shirt really quickly? I have never. Yes. There was one time in my entire life that I had like a T-shirt and my friend made it, and it was me being Elphaba, but I was like still like painted. This physical shirt means so much to me, and we just did a photo shoot today at C7, and the entire staff was in their gig T-shirts, and they were doing staff photos. It was just insanely incredible, and you know, I think that where we are now as a nation, it's hard to support someone. However, when you do, you've got to absolutely support them. And Kat Carson from Cobalt has made these shirts. She made masks for C7. Robin Banks has her own shirt. I'm sure she had it on during her little moment. This is just the craziest thing. What you're going to expect from the gig?
Okay, hold on right there, because we have to take a commercial break. So when we come back, you're going to tell us all about what we can expect from the gig, all right? We're going to go to commercial. All right, we are back with the Mouth of Melrose and the new show director for Friday nights at Cruisin' 7, Miss Fantasia Saxton. Oh my goodness. What happened?
Mama, you took a commercial break. I said I gotta put a hat on, sis.
I can't with you.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Don't clock out wearing a nail, though. But I had nails on for the photo shoot, so how dare you? But,
all right, so talk to us. What is the gig going to be all about?
Well, honestly, it's going to be all about it just genuine. Like, so many of us interact with each other in ways that we think are funny, or that we think are, oh, we're kikiing or whatever. And quite often, people's feelings get hurt and whatever. The bottom line of what you're going to expect from the gig is you're going to see what I think is fantastically amazing drag. I mean, Phoenix, Arizona presents so much amazing drag. And I mean, baby, if I'm honest with you, if you can't do that, I'll see you somewhere else. But one of the greatest things about the gig, hopefully, will be a fantastic dressing room moment, a fantastic dressing room experience. Like, you're not going to feel ostracized or anything in my dressing room. You're going to feel completely welcomed, completely into the entire venue. Drag, being a really good drag queen is really hard to do, especially in Phoenix. And I want to just make a space where everybody can experience that.
Sounds good. Well, we have a question. We have a question. Who is
do you remember season 4 of Drag Race when they were like, do you remember that, Edward?
I forgot. That's a long time ago.
Oh,
that was season 4.
Was it, 10 years ago?
So we have a question. Who is
from Katrina?
Who is your first show cast and why?
My first show cast?
So that's a pretty big thing. You're making a debut. It's a brand new show. You want to have a strong show cast. How do you go about deciding that? And are you able to tell us who's in the first show?
Yeah, absolutely. In my first show is KFC, who's a former Miss C7. Katrina, who is my daughter, and Benediction.
Nice. So
And
you have
these are people that I trust. And in me going forward with opening a live show during Miss Rona, I wanted to first of all have a cast that is going to be sickening. I'm like, bitch, I'm not going to book, tomfoolery. Like, I needed to book a cast that was sickening that I know is going to turn up. KFC going to boogie the house. She going to get on up. You know what I'm saying? Like, get on up. She's going to. But these are also people that I have been 99% of my time, like, in the quarantine gig with. Like, I know where these people have been. I know what they've done. I know who they've been with. Like, these are people that I know are safe. Because we also have to, like, bring that up, right? And so I know where all of them have been, and I know how safe they've been. And, this is, again, a huge opportunity for me. So I know that the people that I booked for my first show are going to deliver because they believe in me as much as I believe in them. And I think that's a huge moment as well, because, sometimes more often than not, people are like, I'll do your show, whatever, to do the show and get the money and get the gig. And they're like, oh, I'm going to do the show and then I'll be over here or wherever afterwards. But the people I've selected for my first show are people that I fully trust and fully believe in. And I know they're going to do me right. Because at that moment, it's not just going to be about me. It's going to be about all of us. And we have to slay.
and you will.
Oh, not
You
the
will.
grounder.
You will.
Also,
I'm
can we
so
talk about Savannah Stevens in this hair?
You should be like a product model. You're all about the commercial and giving the product. Okay, so let's talk about it. The gig of Fantasia Saxton, it premieres Friday, March the 19th at 9:30. Tickets go on sale.
Oh, and
Is it
that's
this
9:30. Not
9:30?
9:35, not 9:30, mama.
Oh, okay. Tickets go on sale March the 8th. That's going to be this upcoming Monday.
Yes, they do.
Okay, at noon. And you can go to cruising7.ticketleap.com. Make sure you get these tickets because I'm sure it is going to sell out for the gig. Where can
You know
people
what?
find
Well, you know what I will say, Edward? In coming up with a name for a show, I just kind of randomly threw out, what am I going to call this gig? And Mike McGarry, who's the owner of C7, goes, call it the gig. Because I was definitely like, what am I going to call this gig? He uses the word gig. We all use the word gig. Gig. What's great about it is that, like, are you talking about your actual show or the gig? Like, it's now turned into this, like, I think maybe a marketing genius moment of me going, Mama's the gig.
So tell me, what about your shot boy, Brian?
COVID.
So shot boy in the future then? So tell everybody where they can find you online.
Mama. They're already over here fighting me online, Mama. I know that this is nationwide because you're ArizonaDrag.com. So I'm Fantasia Saxton on Instagram. I'm currently watching,
So
I
Fantasia
said
Saxton
not at the
on
same time as the
Instagram.
auction, sis. Also, let's talk about you for a second because Edward Michael, you are fucking fantastic.
We are running out of time. This is only an hour show.
Mama,
So-
you called me?
Yes, because
You said we only have an hour and you called me? I got 2 hours, sis.
Well,
The gig is 90 minutes.
I will have you back on the show soon. Don't you forget. Well, I want to thank you so much I wish you the best of luck. I will be in the audience at the gig one of these Fridays. I'm going to be looking at you. The gig. All right. Well, you enjoy the rest of your night, and thank you for being on the show.
Girl, moment.
Oh my goodness, that lady is crazy, but I love her. I love her. All right. Coming up this week, of course, we have all our weekly shows starting tomorrow with Fernanda Vargas West's show at Carambas, plus Claudia and Company. They have shows at BS West. You can visit us online at arizonadrag.com. Visit our event calendar, and that will tell you all about the different shows. But we are running out of time. I want to thank my special guests, Robin Banks and Fantasia Saxton, for being on the show tonight. Next week, we're going to find out who will be representing Mr. Gay Arizona America. We will meet the two representatives that will be competing at the national level this August. That is going to be next week's show. So until then, I thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week with more Drag Talk.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Drag Talk. For the latest news, pageant updates, and interviews, visit us online at arizonadrag.com and follow us on all social media platforms. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next week for more Drag Talk.